Hello my little lovecas, my name's Karen and welcome to Setlist. This is a new series on my channel that I'm currently testing, so there might be a few hiccups during it, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Essentially what we're going to be doing is looking at the new sets coming out on Love Live School Idol Festival Japanese server and rating them, which seems like a little bit condescending for a free-to-play game, but I think it's important that we get a discussion going. So, how this series will work is I'll talk about a set, and I'll talk about the SRs first, then the SSRs, and then the URs, in that order. Make sure you leave your feedback on what you think of the sets down below, because I'm always super curious about what other people have to say. Without much further ado, let's get on with it. So today we're going to be talking about the new Aquas set, which is a Chika Yohane set. And Yohane was the first half of the set, Chika was the second. I think it's another swimsuit set technically, but if I'm totally honest, what it reminds me of is like, you know those Volvic fruity water drinks? It reminds me really of a set like that, of that theme. And I just can't get that out of my head now, so if you know what that is, I hope you refer to it as the Volvic set now, like I do. The SRs for this set are Riko, Kanan, Ruby, Daya, and Mari. Riko's first, and I'm a big fan of this Riko SR. It's just really nice. The Unidolized is so nice. I love the bun. They are nailing the Riko hairstyle in this. I like the fact that she has a baggy t-shirt on. It gives it that very much cutesy vibe that I adore. I love the fact that they've gone for like a pink theme for her, which really shows off her girly side. It's nice. It suits her. I love the pose. It looks very like quite natural, kind of slightly caught off guard. I kind of like that vibe in the Unidolized because it looks like she was like, oh, are we doing the photo shoot now? Quickly pose! Which I think's pretty adorable. I've always mentioned how I adore when the idolized outfits have minor changes to fit each and every character, which we see as a huge representation in this set. With Riko's, you've got that little shawl that the other characters haven't, and it kind of nails in the fact she's from city life because she's protecting her shoulders. She's probably not used to as the sun in the rural areas, so it very much suits her character, which I enjoy. The only thing that bothers me about this set is the fact that they're wearing a hat and a hair clip. Pick one or another. Pick one or another, Klab, please. Another negative about this SR is they could have stuck with the bun design. I really liked the bun design. It was a very nice touch on the Unidolized, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. So next up we have Kanan. The Unidolized it's cute because it's sticking with a whole kind of caught off guard vibe, like they were genuinely just having a lot of fun. So that's kind of nice. She looks slightly shocked, which is really cute. I love the little headband she's wearing, which it's a little gutting they never take the chance to like use her really long hair to do different hairstyles, but the headband was a nice touch this time. I see you, Klab. I see you. Kanan and Mari particularly both have killer figures, and that is perfectly shown off with the tied up t-shirt, which, by the way, I'm adoring the fact they all have Aquas merch on. That's really cute. Like, the subtle Aquas on the t-shirt, I really like stuff like that. It's very subtle, but it's really cute. I would buy these t-shirts, I totally would. The Idolized, it's nice. You can tell she's sporty from the pose she's pulling. She knows what she's doing. She's been around the swim block before. She's here to be competitive at this waterboarding with fruit, I guess. Not really sure what they're doing in all honesty, but all I know is she is killing it while doing it. I like the fact that her outfit, again, is very much styled towards her. It's darker blue, it's got more of a mature theme to it, which I really like, because the third years, they're older, and they should be portrayed as such. The next person I'd like to talk about is Ruby, Ruby, killing it! So cute in this set. From the pigtails to the pose, it's all so cute. Let me start off with the pigtails though. Thank you, Klab. I feel a little sad that she has to choose from two pigtail styles, but I'm also extremely happy that they finally decided to change her hairstyle at all. Like, there's only a few cards in which she has a semi-different hairstyle, and I really appreciate them. Her baggy kind of t-shirt and the adorable skirt to go with it, it's so very Ruby that it's just cute and nice. There's something inherently so pure about it. Ruby looks really bubbly in this card. Like, typically it's like a throw-up of her looking kind of too gentle or too cutesy, but in this one she maintains like a very cute persona while also kind of being entirely her, kind of bubbly and optimistic. The bright colours really reflect that. Ruby's Idolized is also really adorable. The pose looks like she's almost about to fall over and she's trying to keep her balance, but she's displaying it so well on her face otherwise. I wish they could have done a little bit more and like actually had her almost falling over. That would have been a nice dynamic in the SR because it would have been very reflective of her character, but I understand it's an SR. They kind of limit how much they show the dynamic on it, which is okay. Baby Daya, You're Unidolized is possibly the best unidolized SR you have. Just this card. I love this card so much. You've got her expression, which all of the cards, SR cards, that Daya has had so far, she's always looked a tiny bit awkward. Like, it doesn't look like her personality has come through too much, which is a shame because she's a very dynamic character, like underneath all her responsibility. Finally, I think this card actually displays that. Like, it shows her kind of fun persona. She's ready to smack someone with that ladle. It just kind of shows that she can have fun and she's not having to pose for everything. Which then it switches back to in the Idolized, where she can be serious and that is part of her personality, but she's also an idol-loving, kind of silly character. Can I just also say, her unidolized low pigtail hair, they have just been repeatedly killing it with her hairstyles. Mari. Oh my god, Mari. Mari is like the epitome of silly and cutesy and kind of so ridiculous. So ridiculously ridiculous. Cowboy hats! I love the fact that she's wearing a cowboy hat in so many cards lately. It's like, I want to confiscate it, but at the same time, I want her to have it, and I want her to flourish with it. Again, like Kanan, she has the pulled up kind of knotted t-shirt vibe, which Nice, very nice. I really appreciate that aesthetic. I like the difference between the more baggy t-shirts and then the girls who have the pulled up t-shirts. It's very nice. And also I want to mention, Mari is the only person wearing shorts in this set. Let me just reiterate that again. Mari is the only person in this set wearing shorts, and yet it suits her character so much to be wearing shorts rather than a skirt. It's so uncanny that such a minor, subtle difference like that works so well. One more thing about the unidolized. Please don't spill that drink, Mari. The next portion I'd like to talk about is the SSRs, and it was a Hanamaru and Yo SSR set. I really like these SSRs because personally I think they're UR quality. So I'd like to talk about the Hanamaru first, which super cute. It looks like she was carrying a plate around and then she's been told to like smile or something, and she looks slightly caught off guard while still maintaining like this kind of very cute persona, which she lets off all the time. It's very natural from her. I also really like the colours used, especially on like the SSR set, because they're just very natural, they're pleasing to the eye, and the unidolized just works so well. It's like they slightly stick out from the background, but like not too much. You can tell that they're there, but you can also tell they're very much immersed in the scene. I also really like Hanamaru's outfit. It's very cute. I like the pale yellow, which is a bit of a contrast from all the blues and the purples and the kind of colder colours we've been seeing, as well as the pinks. I really like the yellow. It's very cute. It suits her. It really does. I also like the fact she's kind of wearing a hat. She's the only person other than Mari in the unidolized to wear a hat. What are these girls doing? They are sat out in sun. They need to be wearing hats. This is not good. What are you doing, Klab? You're gonna give all of your idols sunstroke. The idolized version of Hanamaru is where I kind of draw the line from UR to SSR to UR. Like, the pose in this is so dynamic. How she's slightly leant forward, how she's holding out her hand, how she's got the kind of pineapple throwing stick kind of placed like that. Again, with the background not sticking out too much, but complementing her just right. And again, her colours being like starkly different from the rest of the group. It kind of really puts a kind of wedge mark between SR and SSR. Yo in this set is so dynamic. So dynamic. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about that for a second. The fact that she is holding 2 plates, she is balanced, and then if we're going with the theme that they are off guard, this girl is as good as Mari in immediately switching to pose mode. It's so good with the wink, the length slightly forward because she's obviously walking and balancing. It also very much reminds me of like how much this looks more like a UR than it does an SSR, because typically an SSR is a meld of a UR background with a slightly upscaled SR, meaning they have a typical pose that's not too in the camera's face or as dynamic as the URs are. But I also have to point out how she's got a lighter blue on, which kind of blends in with her peers, but she also has this adorable skirt on with all of the ruffles, and again with the pulled up t-shirt. The idolized, what can you really say about the idolized? Like, her outfit is bright. It's not too bright, but it's bright enough to be eye-catching. And you've just got to take a second to look at it, because her pose is so dynamic. Like, she's slightly towards the camera, as is Hanamaru, but she's just very more slightly turned, and she looks like she's having fun, which expressions are always a bit of a hit and miss in Love Live cards. Like, sometimes they look a little bit too forced, and other times they look a little bit too gentle. Like, Hanamaru's looks just gentle enough because she's quite a gentle character. I was worried that Yo's would look a little bit too gentle for what they were doing as well. But she doesn't. She looks like she's genuinely having a lot of fun. She looks slightly competitive as well, which I enjoy because it comes out in her character. And finally, the behemoths, the URs. Both of the unidolized, I'm not sure if I like. It just looks a little bit too saturated. I think it's a nice perspective, but if you were to set them on your home screen, as people do with URs, I think they would just look a little bit too saturated to be on there. It's like they have a very set colour scheme for most kind of URs. Like, they're slightly affected by the lighting, but not majorly. I think on this UR pair, they just took it a little bit too oversaturated with the lighting. However, it definitely upgrades it in a way for me, because it's like they're trying new things, which I can definitely appreciate. Aquas is the new thing. They need to keep evolving and trying new dynamics. So with that much said, I'd like to talk about each individually now, starting with the Yohane. The Yohane is, what can I say, adorable. It's very different to the others. She's wearing darker colours, which I couldn't have picked better myself. I know all the other girls are wearing quite light, summery colours, but it doesn't really have to be that she wears the same colours to fit in, because just by the style itself, you can tell it's from the same set, while still reflecting from her obvious character dynamic. She's a dark angel, she's not going to be wearing bright light colours, so it works. The dynamic between Yohane and Chika in this kind of retrospect is nice, because Yohane is obviously much less ready than Chika, because she's kind of eating, but I feel that really reflects, because Chika is a lot more up for such things, and I don't believe she'd be the type to let her guard down if she knew they were doing a photo shoot. She'd probably be posing at all times, let's be real. But Yohane, on the other hand, if she does kind of let her guard down easily, and she does kind of slip into her old traits. So I imagine, out of the two, Yohane would be the non-posy one, while Chika would be. I think we can safely say that Yohane's favourite animal is a shark by now. We all have to agree on that. Her favourite animal is shark. Hands down. I don't want to hear no debate on that in the comments. I love the pose so much. It's just her, and I love winking cards so much. I can't quite explain it, but winking cards always have that extra layer that I'm like, yes, that character would 100% wink. I'd like to talk about the Chika now. I love the fact that she's wearing the pink. And again, she's wearing like a jean skirt, which isn't the exact same as shorts, but it's getting there. It's different. I think the only thing that bugs me about both of these unidolized URs is the fact that they never do anything different with the hairstyles. Like, come on, try it. If you're gonna try different colouring, go all out. Go for different hairstyles as well. The Idolized Chica UR is pretty nice. It keeps in with the theme. I don't think there's anything too standout spectacular about it. The orange and blue theme works surprisingly well. Like, some of the girls' kind of colours didn't work as well, but orange and blue works really well for Chica. It's possibly because her hair also ties in with that, but I think the outfit in general looks really nice on this card. The colours work, and I appreciate that. Now, to talk about the URs put together, the Idolized looks very sparkly, and I like that, and so does the Unidolized, but surprisingly the Chica Unidolized has like a glimmer across it that the Yohane doesn't, which kind of throws me off a bit. Like, if you're gonna add sparkles, go all out with the sparkles. Come on, Klab, go all out. Compared to the SSRs, the URs were slightly underwhelming. And maybe that's just because I've seen a lot of sets, and I'm still kind of getting my bearings with the SSRs. I just had this feeling that I could not shake that I preferred the SSRs over the URs, which, it's not a bad feeling to have, but if the URs are meant to be more rare than the SSRs, they should probably display it. And the first time I looked at these cards, I didn't actually give them the proper credit that they were due. Until Erin Cerise put out a few tweets, which you'll see on screen now and be able to read yourself. But essentially what she was talking about was how many of the URs had an equal distance. There wasn't much of a dynamic. They also had that kind of flatness to it. And then, when I went back to looking at the URs, I realised how much I was undervaluing that dynamic that she was talking about. When I put them side by side, it really showed how much perspective was on the cards. We got to see how they were interacting with the background, not just them on a flat card. It felt like more of a three-dimensional image than most of the other cards looked like. Erin also brought up one of my personal favourite sets. I think it's the job set for Muse, and it's a Katori Ellie UR set, and I've always loved that set so much because of the dynamic in it. It doesn't look like a normal card should. It looks like they're generally doing their own thing. I really started to appreciate that, yeah, you can see it's UR standard because they have taken these precautions. They are experimenting with the SSRs, but they're also maintaining the UR standard. And it honestly kind of made me appreciate them more. Because when you first look at the cards, you get to see them as they first come out, and you don't typically look at them and put them together. Or you don't look at them as a set, you kind of look at them as half a set and half a set. But looking at them together kind of made them really grow on me, much more than they originally had done. So, when I addressed all that, I realised, yeah, this is a really nice set. While it is another swimsuit set, it shows kind of them in their natural forms, as well as them kind of being professional. So for this set, if you had originally asked me when I'd first seen it, I probably would have only given it a 3 diacuries out of 5. But now that I've properly considered it, sat down, looked at all the cards, I'm going to give it a solid 4 diacuries out of 5. Which means I would give this a stamp of approval, ready for scout. Thank you for watching today's episode of Setlist. I know this kind of drawled on for a relatively long amount of time, which I don't know how long the episode will end up being, but I'll hopefully endeavour to make them shorter in the future. I'd like to say thank you to everyone watching. If you'd leave a like or some feedback on what you want to see from this series, any other sets you want me to look at, or If you really hate this series, even tell me, because I'm still picking up this kind of YouTube thing. I'd like to say thank you to Paul Sags for coming up with the name of this series. I didn't expect him to do that, but thank you! Please check him out if you don't know who he is, which I don't get why you wouldn't. I'd also like to say thank you to Erin Keprison for allowing me to put her tweets in my video, which she so kindly agreed to me doing, and it was really nice because I genuinely did rethink this set after she mentioned these topics, which, if you don't know her, go check her out right now. I will see you all in the next video, my little lovecas. Thank you for watching. Oh my god, I really hope that they don't hate me for those stupid names. I'm so sorry.